Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Monday, the 10th of August 2020. So the tech stocks tumble into the weekend, copper crumbles as silver soars, as the market desperately needs the Fed to turn those machines back on and keep printing to keep the market afloat. So let's have a look at Friday's German DAX, see what happened. And the market was sideways in the pre-market session, and what you'll notice here is that we've got some buying coming into the market there just before the cash market opens there in the futures market. You can see them buying in green bar, very high volume at the 200 MA. The next bar is still below the 200 MA and also very high, but the range is narrow. Prices then blast through the BRN, and you can see the volume there, significant move to the, and I'll just have to fast forward there, I had a problem with the charts, to the close, and the price is stopped, but big increase in volume there, which is then followed by a big increase in selling at the close and the DP level, which you can see there. So prices then make their way back down, having been hit. There was a bit of buying pressure here, but this was overcome as the sellers continued to move the market lower. And then you will see we've got two selling bars there below the 200 MA and the BRN. And then prices find some buying support coming into the market, which you can see there. So those that were short from the top were buying back in this bar here. And then prices, I fast forward through here, just traded sideways back up to the 200 MA. And you can see how it was used as a resistance level for the market as it traded sideways to lower, moving back. Had a green bar there. And a second one as prices then showed a bit of potential weakness, but eventually after trading in a sideways move managed to break through to the upside there and then failed as prices were brought back. We then had a sell signal which wasn't filled as the market continued its sideways move as it waited for the non-farm payroll figures at lunchtime. Again, you can see them buying back here at this point to keep that sideways move intact. I'll just get the right tool there. You can see there that sideways move that the market had developed. So prices were brought back. We had a buy signal, the entry point just above the 200 MA. So prices drive through the BRN with new professional buying. You can see this, we've got the increase in volume going through the 200 MA and the BRN. And then watch this bar. Here's a clue at this point where you could consider taking profits. Just watch the volume. You'll see it increasing significantly to the level of the previous bar. And yet the range of this bar is far less. As you can see, the range is only a third of the previous bar's range, but the distance is only minuscule by comparison. So we know that there is some selling as the market is moving up. There's some selling pressure here. And this is why we then see prices moving back to the downside there, to the 5-bar moving average, where prices come back down to the BRN. They bounce off this, but now prices struggle to close back above the 5-bar moving average. And the volume has dropped off. You've got potential weakness coming into the market there, indicating that the upside is likely to be over, and then we see prices coming back and prices trade sideways, and then eventually in the morning they put in a sell signal with selling, you can see there, and the market back below the 200 bar moving average. However, prices now decide that they want to trade sideways, and you can see them starting to create the channel as they buy back into the market with prices below the 200 MA. Prices actually come back above the 200 MA in this bar, but fail to hold and then trade sideways. And given that the market was going nowhere, came out of the trade, decided to pull it. But of course, an hour later and after the market, or after 10 o'clock, prices decided to move lower. But I did have other things to do. And it's a shame, really, because prices did exactly what I'd spoken about in the market alert about trading down to the previous day's low. And you can see there is your exit point as the market hits the low. They like to bring the market back from the low. And that's what we see happening there as prices then turn green again. And then at lunchtime, we had the non-farm payrolls. So you can see there was a lot of selling towards the, as the market moved high, you've got resistance to the left just before the news. And have a quick look at the news. It took a moment or two for the figures to actually come out. But eventually they did, and they were better than forecasts, which what Trump had also predicted a few days earlier, if you recall, when they released the ADP numbers on the Wednesday. So before the market opened at 2:30, prices moved high, but they ran out of steam, and you can see the selling coming into this up move. The DP and the close critical prices coming back below this, and then we see the MDI turn red. And I'm just going to go forward here. I was in the wrong chart, actually. This is, if you'll notice, it's a minute chart. For some unknown reason, I obviously clicked on it, which is why you're seeing a lot of price bars there. And eventually I realise the error as I'm watching the market open, thinking this is unusual. There's a lot of price bars here. And then eventually, as you'll see now, I've realised that I was looking at the wrong time frame. There were no signals, so I didn't miss anything. Price is trading up to the DP level, struggling. You've got the selling coming into the market, again followed by further selling with the same amount, but the range narrower. So a bit of support coming in there, and you can see the buying trying to move the market back there. You've got that green bar, which was triggered by this here as the market tried to put the brakes on. Prices moved lower here as the volume dropped off, so they're able to try and reverse it. But unfortunately, the DP got in the way, and you'll see prices going up on low volume there until, as you'll see, as I fast forward into this, we then get the MDI turning back to red for one bar, then back to green. But you can see prices are stuck in that sideways range until they are able to break out with the buying volume there to get through the resistance that we see to the left. But the market was very quiet considering the incredibly good news that the unemployment figures gave. And at this point, unfortunately, or just prior to this, I had to leave the desk. But we had a sell signal, and this traded down to the close price. And you can see I've left the desk because I haven't put the markup back on. And prices then, as you'll see, you get your green bar there to indicate that there is potential strength and the shorts are taking money off the table, which you'll see they did as prices reverse and then come back and look at the BRN and the DP level. You then get a buy signal, and prices then trade through the entry and also then trade up to the scalp, which you'll see in just a moment. As prices continued that sideways move, and you'll see there trading to the scalp level. But very quiet afternoon considering they had really good news to move the markets with there. So prices stuck in that sideways range and then eventually starting to make their way lower. So there were two trades in the afternoon that did offer a few points, but nothing of any significance. But again, you've got the clues there. You've got the buying coming into the market there from the shorts, and also this bar here as prices moved higher. You can see the significant increase in the volume there, not above the average, but it's again, if you look at each individual bar on a bar by bar basis, you will see that there is an increase there as prices came off the highs and then closed below the 5 bar in the following bar there. Okay, let's have a look at a few other things. Let's start off with they were the non-farm payroll figures. The news this week, there is no news Monday today. We have no news. So again, we'll look at the daily chart and the 2-minute chart, see what the market's doing. And nothing big this week. We've got the UK claimant count tomorrow. Wednesday, there's a GDP for the UK, CPI for the US, and then on Thursday we've got the US claims, the weekly one, again another 1.2 million predicted and forecast here. And then Friday we've just got retail sales and the preliminary from the US. So let's have a look at the daily chart of the DAX, and it's looking positive here that we could actually break through this resistance that we've got to the left today. You could do this from the open and trade straight through the 78 and the 89, and then you've got the 62. This level here will be a crucial level at let's say the 12,900, just to round things up there, and it's also the high where the selling took place in this bar as well. So overnight prices, you can see there, have moved higher. This is where we kick off on the overnight. Prices coming back down to the 200 MA, and you can see they're moving to the upside. So let's compress everything and see where we are in the bigger picture. So the market is currently trading above the DP, the previous day's close and high, that's Friday's, and the 200 MA. The 5-bar moving average is also above the 200 at the the 20-bar moving average, and we're trading at this BRN. We've got to take out the R1 if prices are to move higher. We have this BRN in the way, and then the R2, and the R2 is ties in with this area here in the daily chart, so that makes life easier. So if we get a buy signal from the open and prices move higher and trade up to the R2, then we can expect to see some sort of potential weakness because of what we're seeing in the daily chart there. You've got the 2 fibs in the daily chart. Okay, that will do it for this one, and yeah, let's see what happens today. Like I say, there's no news, but the market is free to trade up to these levels in the daily chart, and at the moment that's precisely what's happening in the 2-minute. If we reset the chart there, you can see that we are nicely poised for the upside as prices keep bouncing off the 200 bar moving average, in the 5 measuring the momentum is also above this as well. Okay, that'll do it for this one. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.